All right, friends and families, welcome back to Math Time with me, Miss X. Let's go ahead and go straight into our objective for today. And remember, our objective is broken up into 3 parts, so we know exactly how we're going to do something, what we need to understand about it, and why we're doing it. So you may read with me or in your head as I read out loud to you. I can add ones and ones, as well as tens and tens, in order to add more quickly. So we are going to be adding, and we're going to be thinking about combining ones and ones, as well as tens and tens. And we're doing that because it's going to help us add more quickly.
All right, friends and families, welcome to the warm-up starter problem. You may read with me or in your head as I read out loud to you. Sharon has 3 dimes and 1 penny. Mia has 1 dime and 3 pennies. Whose amount of money has a greater value? Alrighty, my friends. So when we have two people like this and we're trying to compare amounts, and we know we're comparing amounts because the question is asking us whose amount of money has a greater value, we can go ahead and set up our paper so that it's split in half. One side for Sharon and then one side for Mia. Now you guys know that with great mathematicians, we always go back and reread the problem. So let's go ahead and do that. Sharon has 3 dimes and 1 penny already. So I see 2 numbers that are already important. I'm going to go ahead and circle that. Mia has 1 dime and 3 pennies. I see another set of numbers. So I see 2 more numbers that are really important. We're also going to circle that. Whose amount of money has a greater value? And then we underline our question, which is whose amount of money has a greater value? So my friends, as we have talked before, sometimes our question is not always asking us for an amount. Sometimes it's asking us for other information. And this question is asking us for another piece of information that doesn't have a solution or a value. Our question asks us whose amount of money has a greater value. So we'll keep that in mind as we work through our problem here. So Sharon has 3 dimes and 1 penny. To show that, my friends, dimes are worth 10 cents. So I'm going to go ahead and write down 10 into my first dime there. I'm going to draw a second dime, and remember, dimes are worth 10 cents. And then I'm going to draw a third dime because I know that Sharon has 3 dimes. And then I'm going to draw 1 penny because Sharon has 3 dimes and 1 penny. Now we're going to take a look at Mia's. Mia has 1 dime. Mia has 1 dime. And remember, a dime is worth 10 cents. And 3 pennies. 1 penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies. And remember, pennies are worth 1 cent. Now, our question asks us to read, whose amount of money has a greater value? Let's go ahead and we can skip count by 10 to confirm, okay? And we can also use count on. For Sharon's side, we're going to go ahead and skip count because it's so much easier. 10, 20, 30, counting on 31. We have 31 cents on Sharon's side. And then let's take a look at Mia's side. There's only 110, so we don't need to skip count by 10. But we are going to use count on. 10, 11, 12, 13. So Mia has 13 cents. Okay, so whose amount of money has a greater value? Go ahead and take a look and then pause here and talk to a friend or family member. Whose amount of money has a greater value? Alrighty, my friends, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and now fill in our sentence, or write our sentence. Sharon has more dimes. She has the greater value. Great job, my friends. So make sure you write this down too if it's helpful for you to work through the problem with me. Let's go ahead and move on to our teacher model. All right, friends and families, welcome to the teacher model. Go ahead and take a look at the screen. Today we have two number sentences. We have 16 plus 2, and then we have 16 plus 20. Take a look. I want you to think to yourself, how are they similar? How are they different? If you were thinking that they both start with the same number, which is 16, you thought correctly. They both start with the same number, 16. But the left side adds 2 and the right side adds 20. What's also similar is that they both added 2 more things to 16. Let me explain that. On the left side, we added 2 more ones. On the right side, we added 2 more tens. Before we do this together as a team, I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video here and try it by yourself first. Solve both problems by yourself first, and then we will come back together and do it as a team. Alright, welcome back, my friends. Let's make quick 10 drawings to show how we can solve these problems. Let's start on the left side. Ready? So we're going to start by drawing 16. I have one quick 10. And then I'm going to set up our 6 ones using 5 groups, because that's what second graders do. Now, let's add 2 ones. But before we do that, should we add to the ones or should we add to the tens? I'm talking about the 2 here. Should we add the 2 ones here to the 6 ones or to the 110? Why? We should add it to the 6 ones because we are adding 6 ones and 2 ones. Now technically we can add to the tens or the ones because we can do 10 plus 2 equals 12 and then 12 plus 6 equals 18. But it's much easier to add the ones of 6 and 2. So 6 and 2 are 8 and 10 and 8 is 18. So adding the ones together is much easier. Let's go ahead and add 2 to our ones. 6 ones and 2 ones is 8 ones. How many tens are there? 1 10. 1 10 and 8 ones is 18. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy down the number sentence again because we're going to do something slightly different here. 16 plus 2. Now, I'm going to make a number bond for the 16 and I'm going to break it up into 10 and 6. My friends, pause here, turn and talk to a friend or a family member about why 16 is broken up into 10 and 6. Alrighty, welcome back, my friends. So, we added 6 ones and 2 ones. So, it's smart to break apart 16 into 10 and 6. That makes it easy for me to see the ones. In 16, there are 6 ones. I also find that it's easier, and you'll find that it's easier and just better to add 6 and 2, which are the ones. That's easy. 6 and 2 is 8. So let's go ahead and write that down. 6 and 2 is 8. 10 and 8 is 18. Whoops. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the right hand side now. This time, what's different? Before we do that though, let's go ahead and draw our quick 10 drawing. Alrighty, on this side for 16 plus 20, instead of adding two ones, we are going to be adding two tens. Now in our drawing, should we add two tens to the tenths or should we add it to the ones? Pause here and talk to a friend or a family member and explain your reason. Alrighty, welcome back, my friends. If you were thinking about adding the two tens to the tens, you thought correctly. 1 10 and 2 tens makes 3 tens. That's easy. We can add it to the ones, I guess, or technically you can, but then we'll have to think, what's 16 plus 20? And that's not so easy. But if we add to the tens, it's much easier. When you see 3 10 sticks, it's easy to see that it's 30. So 30 plus 6 is easy too. Let's go ahead and add it. Adding tens to tens is much easier. Now this is what your drawing should look like. So you're going to add 2 tens, which is also equivalent to 20. Now, how many tens are there? There are 3 tens. And how many ones? 6 ones. 3 tens and 6 ones is 36. Let's go ahead and write down our number sentence again. We're breaking our 16 up into 10 and 6 and we're going to write down our 2 number sentences that showed how we added the tens first and then the rest to solve. So we had 1 10 and we added 2 tens, which also equals 20. That gives us 30. Then we added that 30 plus our 6 ones, which gives us 36. And 36 is our solution here. When we have an addition problem, a good question to ask ourselves before adding the second addend or part, we can ask ourselves and decide, should we add to the ones or to the tens? When you add ones to ones or tens to tens, it makes the problem easier to solve.
Okay, friends, moving into our independent practice, there are 4 reminders I want you to keep in mind as we work through the independent practice, or as you work through the independent practice and the exit ticket. Number 1, do not worry about doing partner work. It says for you to do partner work, but don't worry about it. Just do it by yourself using one of the 3 strategies listed. Number 2, remember that a dime is worth 10 cents and a penny is worth 1 cent. They are similar to our tens and ones place values. Number 3, for quick 10 drawings, use the quick 10 sticks and dots to show one addend, which is also a part. And then number 4, use X's to show the other addend. Remember, addend means part. Okay, my friends, good luck. You guys are going to do wonderful. Don't forget to click the link in the box below if you want to get to the worksheet. It will take you to the worksheet. Don't worry about printing it if you don't have a printer. Just write down the problems on the worksheet and solve it on your own the best that you can. Or you may also mark it up digitally. Good luck, my friends.